I'm Eric Novak, and coming up on this next review, I'm going to take a look at the 2018 Lexus LC500 Hybrid. One of the highlights at the 2012 North American International Auto Show in Detroit was Lexus's world premiere launch of its LFLC concept. It was a gorgeous fastback two-door grand touring coupe, and it had everybody talking for some time afterwards. Now, 4 years later, Lexus came back to the show with almost the same concept, but now launched it as a production model, the LC500. The LC500 is now available for sale as a 2018 model here in the summer of 2017. It comes as a naturally aspirated V8 powertrain, but it also comes, such as what we have here on the review, as a wonderful performance hybrid. I have been reviewing vehicles regularly now for a little over 6 years, and in that time I have probably reviewed hundreds of different vehicles, but never in all that time have I had a vehicle where I have had more people offer me comments or compliments or looks or winks or smiles or anything of that sort than I have with this vehicle as well. And I'm also old enough and wise enough to realize that all those compliments have nothing to do with the occupant and everything to do with the vehicle. But a couple of things to point out and highlight: if you love an hourglass shape of elegance, well, that's certainly apparent in the lengthwise design of this vehicle. The front and rear tires, the fenders, they flare out, giving a lovely, gorgeous aerodynamic hourglass shape. It is long and low. We have a carbon fiber black roof on top for added elegance. The tires on this top end version, they're gorgeous 21-inch tires, and they're big too. They're 245s on the front and big beefy 275s on the back. When you see it from the back, the flare out, it really offers an added form of elegance. It's aerodynamic as well. Just here by the just beyond the front door and on the front bumper as well, you have little air intakes. That also, it adds a bit of elegance, but it also helps for stability on straight drives, especially as you're getting into higher speeds. At the front end, there's the traditional spindle grille that Lexus is well known for, but in this case, they have there's no chrome around the top end, so it's more of a seamless transition. It really works. It's very dramatic. This really has that Aston Martin look to it. There are very unique LED headlights and taillights. The badging is great. The front rear, there's actually a spoiler that comes up on anything over 50 miles an hour, 80 kilometers, it automatically pops up, but you can manually adjust it to. But overall, this has just got to be easily probably the most attractive, elegant design I've ever reviewed. While the LC500 Hybrid is designed as a grand touring vehicle, and there's all the romantic images of going for these long, luxurious drives and touring the countryside perhaps for several days, if that is the case here, you're probably going to have to pack lightly. It's a four-seater, and those two rear seats really aren't much to begin with, so there's not a lot of room for cargo. In fact, while it does have a trunk, I should probably show you, it's really not much to it. It's, in fact, only about 4.7 cubic feet. Now, having said that, I actually have a couple of lawn chairs in here. My son has put his baseball gear, and you could probably get a couple of small bags, but if you are going to use this as a multi-day cruiser, you better pack lightly. So the exterior of the LC500H is absolutely a gorgeous 10 out of 10. When you move into the interior, it's still quite nice, but there are some things that I'm not as in love with. Now, the interior is a 4-seater. This is a 2+2, and even those second row seats, listen, it's a compact car. 4 adults, no, it's not really going to happen. 2 adults and maybe 2 children, sure. In fact, I actually had a point this week where I had 3 of my kids in here, 1 in the front, 2 in the back, including 1 in a booster. So it's possible, not preferable, but possible. This is a grand touring vehicle, so it is driver-centric, and to that effect, the front cockpit is relatively well designed. The seats here in this LC500 are sort of performance-oriented. They've got a lot of side bolsters. It may help at some point. They're not really adjustable on the sides. Not that I'm really saying that I need the adjustments, but some people may want a little bit more width for the bolsters as opposed to otherwise. Now, the front driver information cluster has been actually taken from the LFA supercar. There's a lot of great information on here, and it's a LED lit display, so it has various information screens that pop up. In front of me, what's unique on this car is the drive mode selector. While normally you'd find it near the drive selector is in the gear shifter, it's actually up here on the front, and you can move it into your normal, your sport, or your sport plus mode. I've really enjoyed the sport plus mode, but it's a little bit of a reach here. Where I think I have a bit of an issue though is, and this is something that Lexus has been having ongoing issues with, it's with the mouse and the information system. This is a bit of a minimalist designed interior, and I think that looks nice in theory, but some of the challenge, I know the sliding mouse has become a little more responsive, but I think one of the challenges I have is in terms of functionality. You want certain basic amenities, certain controls that you would use on a daily basis to be right in front of you and easy to access. For example, heated seats, cooled seats. Normally I expect it to be a very simple, easy to reach button. In this vehicle, though, I've got to dig into the menu screen, I've got to find it in climate, and then I've got to look for seating and steering, and then finally I've got my heating, and then even then it's up or down. I've turned it on, down. It's really a bit cumbersome. It shouldn't be that way for something normally used to having a 1-button press. There is a lot of information available in the center information system. They have their new Lexus Inform app system, where you can get a lot of information, news, traffic information. It's available through a download. It connects with your smartphone. There's a Lexus Inform app, connects straight through to, and again, it's sort of the cutting edge of information on demand. I do like lots of what's inside, but I really wish it was a little more easy in terms of functionality and usability on the center console. But that's a quick look at the inside of the Lexus LC500h. As drive experience is concerned with this Lexus LC500 hybrid, I have to say this has been something that has exceeded my expectations overall. Most of the time perceptions of hybrids are somewhat sluggish, but that's not the case here. This multi-system hybrid has figured it out to it really works well. I mean, under the hood is a combination of a 3.5 liter V6 powertrain with the electric motor combination. It offers 354 net horsepower and about 348 pound-feet of torque. But where the impressiveness is with this multi-stage hybrid system, which is pretty complicated to be honest, it really offers a great performance feel that you would see, such as with the naturally aspirated V8. In fact, the 0 to 60 mile an hour is 4.7 seconds, which is pretty close to the regular LC500. And the other beautiful part, of course, is there is different driving modes. If we get into driving mode here, I'm going to start off as I normally would want to have, in EV mode, such as the hybrid does. But if you want to feel what a performance grand touring vehicle is like, you move up the drive select mode, which is up here to your Sport Plus, and then you just give it a chance and you let it go. And I'm getting a different experience that one should not normally expect with a hybrid. That's great. It's fantastic. It feels wonderful, and it's well weighted too, because of the fact that we're using the first ever Lexus with a lithium-ion battery pack combination that is situated, it's lighter, it's smaller, it's better positioned. The weight distribution of this car, the center of gravity, is pretty much right by my hip. So overall, it's a great experience driving this, and again, it's really exceeded my expectation. Let's go again. So this is a hybrid, and as such, you would expect it to have better fuel economy than a non-hybrid variant, and it does. Despite this having a larger 3.5 liter engine, the combined fuel economy city highway on this LC500H is 7.84 liters per 100 kilometers, which works out to basically about 30 US miles per gallon. That's actually compared to the regular LC500, which has about a 19 US miles per gallon, or a 12.4 liters per 100 kilometer rating. So now to this point, I haven't been quite achieving that low. I've been averaging about 8.4 liters per 100 throughout the week and a half or so that I've had this. So while you might say that's still, on par with a lot of other regular non-hybrid vehicles out there, let's not forget that this is a performance vehicle, and to that extent, I think it's certainly fair, and I would say it's acceptable enough. To offer an effective summary of the 2018 Lexus LC500H, I think you'll have to view it from a few different perspectives. If you're someone who typically likes to judge a book solely by its cover, well, then this design is absolutely deserving of a Pulitzer Prize, Giller Prize, Nobel Prize for Literature nomination. It is absolutely stunning and gorgeous. If, however, you're someone who likes to believe, well, it's more what's inside that counts, well, the LC500H probably isn't to the same level it is on the outside. While it is a grand touring vehicle, it is comfortable to drive in. The infotainment system is really still something that needs to be worked on. The overall idea of it is it needs to be more user-friendly. Now, overall, for me, the way I tend to view it is I do a little bit of both. I obviously love a book cover, but I like to see what's inside that counts. And if you package everything together, the absolutely stunning design, the really impressive drive for a hybrid, it had a lot more oomph, a lot more of that guttural sound than I was expecting. The overall comfort level, everything combined, I think if they just work on those few areas of imperfection and frustration, once that's done, I honestly believe that this could easily be one of the more iconic grand touring vehicles of this generation. I really, really enjoyed my time in this one, and I hope you enjoyed this review. But that's it for now. For EnviroDad.com, I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching. There's plenty of ways for you to keep connected with me, so check out some of my social media links, suggested videos, and I'd really love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel.